Hello everyone. Hope you have a great weekend so far. I'll give you a weekly recap of what's going on last week with the US stock market. US market pulled back Friday due to lawmakers have not passed stimulus deal. The Dow Jones Industrial Average ended at 30,179.05 from previous Friday close of 30,046.37. Nasdaq slipped 0.07% to 12,755.64 from previous Friday of 12,377.87, and S&P 500 at 3709.41 from previous week of 3663.46. All major indexes closed high for the week despite the drop of Friday. Oil futures edged higher on hopes of stimulus to lift demand and rose to 49.08. US dollar index was slightly up. Bitcoin hovered below 23,000 after which a record high of 23,770 and 80.85 on Thursday, which is still pretty high. I hope the futures, the index, actually the index BITW, a Bitrise index fund will rose again about $100. So it was gone up a high at 190, and then it was very quick within the 5 minutes that it crashed and went back down. But it was coming from like $30 and keep rising to $150 plus level. So it now has traded at $69. So hopefully I bought some and I'm losing money, but you will come back up to $100 or so. I still believe this is a very good investment in the future. BITW and Bitcoin will be kind of very hit on the upcoming year. Vaccine has stopped rolling out in the U.S. despite that Moderna was from previous high of 178 previous last week and slipped down to 140.23 when ended for a week. Unemployment claims hit 885,000, which was 3 months high and was much higher than expected. This may indicate that the market is recovering slower than anticipated. Energy stocks were not far behind, falling more than 1% as a threat to demand of fresh restriction to curb rising COVID-19 cases rate on sentiment. So it was like 50 cents and gone down 49-ish. And on the tech stock, Intel closed 6.3% lower on fears over further dent in its chip business, and Microsoft is reporting set to design its own chip for servers. So Microsoft may decide their own and don't need Intel to help. So then obviously the contract and the volume will gone down. So then that's why the stock got hit. SWI was being hacked and the company share dropped more than 25% since then. I bought some and it was at $25. It gone down to now it's like really low, like 617-ish. I think the stock will go back up to 20 plus. I'm pretty confident about that. So, and if you look at the chart of this stock, it's actually pre-pandemic. It was 20s. I mean, it should be at least $20, in the stock. But so hopefully it will rebound the following week or before end of the year. Tesla hit a record high of 684.74 before pairing some gains to trade about 1.5% high as the electric car maker joined the S&P index after market close. Bank stock were up after notified allowing share buybacks after the market close, which is from Fed that allowing them to do a share buyback again. So the stock will be up. You can take a JP Morgan as example, and then you look at Bank of America as well. Chinese company Baidu, similar to Google, which is a search engine, hit record high after report possibility of making electric vehicles. Number of companies issue IPO this week: Airbnb, AMBN, Symbol, and DoorDash. Symbol DASH stock started 2x on the first trading day, but tumbled following days, but still finishing strong in the week. Nike announced earnings after Friday market close, and result was stronger than expected. It went up 5% after trading hour of $144. Next week will be a short trading week due to the Christmas holiday. Hopefully there will be good news regarding the stimulus package because Friday they didn't reach the agreement. Mitch McConnell was saying that that people won't go home for holiday until you get really get the agreement and you will work on the weekend. So we'll see how it shape up. So far, I haven't heard the news of launching an agreement yet between Democrat and Republican. If needed, they may extend another week, for emergency purposes until they really can reach an agreement. I just don't understand why it took so long to agree on certain thing. And to be honest, this is kind of funny, right? If you think about 900 billion versus 1 trillion, what difference does it make, right? I mean, if you think about it, it's not that much money we're talking about, and by Biden gonna raise the tax for 4 year, and really, if you think about it, $600 giving to the Americans, is it really that much? Or even $1,200, or even $2,000? It's not, because for people who actually will be able to go back to work, they are paying tax which is about 12.5%. Pretty much, if you don't make that much money, and up to the people like myself who used to make over $100,000 a year, you're paying 30% of tax return. $1,000 they're giving from the government is pretty much is you pay it off in 1 month, right? So from that perspective, I don't know why it's dragging so long. And the government objective should be getting people back to work as quickly as possible, which part was, again, re-emphasizing about the natural unemployment rate, the full unemployment rate, which could be about 5%. Nobody know what is that full unemployment percent really meant. But, before the pandemic, Trump actually was reaching a 3.5% unemployment rate with minimum salary depending on the state, right? Like New York was like over $10 an hour. So right now, I'm seeing everything set back. Even when you look for a job, we used to pay $100,000 a year. They actually cut to paying $80,000, which is 20% pay cut. And worse than that is actually people who are trying to find a job, you wouldn't get the $80,000 job. You probably have to look for a $60,000 job and hopefully be placed very soon. And for those who had interviewed and go through the process, know what I mean. It's really a painful process now. The application is very cumbersome. You have a lot more questions than before. The interviewing, I don't understand. It's a joke. Like you have to do 2 or 3 interviews instead of a different time. And like from the time to start it to be notified you have interview, what's the time you're done with the interview, and whether you will get hired or not. It's like a month and a half in total. I am not understand how people can survive. If you think about you try 2 jobs and would eventually land a job for 3 months, waiting time, it just makes things very difficult. And you still have to think about mortgages, to obligation mortgages, food on the table, health insurance, other miscellaneous and car payments. It's just not going to be durable. So I hope people really, the government really, Congress really understand, heard about the people, understand what challenges they're facing, and really work on it as hard as possible. Who knows when Biden going to be in office? Actually, they may have to do another stimulus, and also look at the vaccine, the effect of the vaccine, how effective it is, whether it can get 70% more population to be really vaccinated, and that makes a really big factor. And we also look at Christmas, whether more people get COVID-19 infected, or we really have things under control in better shape. Regardless, hopefully looking forward to the rebound of Bitcoin index and the electric vehicles, because it kind of fall back this week a little bit. Christmas is a big holiday, so people may rush for last minute shopping. So hopefully the e-commerce stocks such as BIGC, which I recommended, Shopify and Amazon and ETCY, I think that's a simple, tell one high to a great to finish it strong for a year. West is at 21.57, indicating that the market is very bullish. If you look at that chart, is really an evaluation of options of buy and sales calculations. And in the pandemic time in March, it actually had as high as 78, I think that was the number. So anything above 40 is really bad when you're indicating that you probably want to sell the stock. So again, hopefully we'll have some good news this week as well to drive the market stronger. Nasdaq will hit another record high after Tesla added to the index list for the first day. Normally it doesn't crash, but after that people may sell off for the stock since you're really reaching a record high and at 688, which is something to think about. I sold mine at $625 because when you hit a $600 mark, I think it was really pretty high. The risk of going down is higher than going up. So the risk evaluation is always a key factor in determining what you want to do as an investor. So I hope you're gonna have a wonderful week. For those who are taking time off, please stay safe and have a great happy holiday. If you like my video, please make sure follow me and give me a like and subscribe if not already done so.